Hello, this is Victor. I hope all is well. In the last video I talked about that we have unconscious beliefs about anything, and we also did an exercise to show that. And today I want to talk more about our unconscious beliefs, because I think it's very important to be aware of this, because it can be very dangerous if we allow our unconscious beliefs to stop us. And since they are unconscious, they can be very difficult to be aware of, obviously. And that's why I want to give some examples today on how our unconscious beliefs can affect us, so that we can become more aware of them. And today I want to share some things from this little book. It's called Yes You Can in English and Jo Du Kan in Swedish, and it's written by Maria Paikul. I hope I pronounced that right. And Lars-Eric Uneståhl. And to me, Lars-Eric Uneståhl is a living legend. He's been researching personal development since the 60s. He's a psychologist and he has a PhD in psychology. And he has also been teaching personal development and mental training for many years. And I'm also taking a course by him, and it's called Personal Development Through Mental Training. And it's a very in-depth course, it's a very transformational course, and I can highly recommend it. And it's in Swedish, but I just noticed that he has the same course, or at least very similar course I believe, in English also, on mentaltraining.com. But I will put both links in the description below, so you can check it out there if you want to. But now I will show off my painting skills. Or maybe not. We'll see. So now I will try to write a plank, and that should be easy, even for me. Yes, I did it. And I like the word plank, by the way. It sounds really like a Swinglish word, you know, a combination between Swedish and English. In Swedish it's called planka. And in English it's really called plank. And I just think that's funny. Anyhow, now I will write a person here. And imagine this is you now, and you are going to walk on this plank, and it's on the floor. And that should be really easy to do, like you would probably succeed 100 times out of 100. But imagine now this plank is between two tall buildings. Or between one tall building and one taller building. And now the focus. Now the risk of falling would increase dramatically. And why is that? That is because when there is a conflict between your unconscious beliefs and your will, your unconscious beliefs win. Your imagination is stronger than your will, and your imagination is governed by your subconscious. And your subconscious also governs the image you have of yourself. That's why it's very important to be aware of what image you have of yourself. And I can see this a lot in the kids in the school where I work. They have all kinds of images of who they are and what they think they can and cannot do. And sometimes I give them a task, and it's a very easy task, like I know they can do it, but they don't even look at it, or they might look at it, but they just decide beforehand that they cannot do it. And that makes me think, okay, in what situations do I do the same? That's why it's very important to be aware of this, because then you can learn not only from yourself but from others as well. You can learn from other people's behavior. And I'm gonna talk more about how this works later in the video. But imagine now that this building here is on fire. Now the chances of succeeding would increase again. And why is that? That is because you have no choice. It's like it's do or die. You have to succeed. And when you have no choice, you have no time to overthink. Because overthinking can lead to doubt in yourself. And when you have no doubts, you just have one choice. You can focus all your energy on the solution, on how to get to the other side. And that will increase your will. And your will become stronger than unconscious beliefs, because there's nothing to think about. You have to do it. And to increase your motivation, imagine if your family was on the other side. Now you have also a very big reason to succeed. Like, you don't only do it for yourself, you do it for your family as well. And when you're why, when you have a really big why for doing what you're doing, that will also increase your belief and your certainty in yourself, and that will also make you more focused on the solution instead of what can go wrong. That's why your will become stronger than your unconscious beliefs. And that's why you will build up more confidence and your belief and conscious beliefs in yourself. And like I said in the last video, belief and certainty in yourself are the key components to succeed in whatever you want to succeed in. That's why it's very important to work on these things. So one, to create an image on yourself that is positive, and to limit your choices, and to also have a big enough why, a big enough reason for doing what you're doing. If you have those three, that increases your chances a lot for succeeding, and that's why it's very important to be aware of this. Now, there's a thing called learned helplessness, and it's related to this. And I will try to write a fish to illustrate this. And that shouldn't be so difficult neither. And this is a real example. Some behavioral researchers did this. So they put this fish, it's a pike, as you can see, gädda in Swedish. And they put this fish in an aquarium and a glass plate here. And then they put the fish's natural food on the other side of the glass plate. Small fishes here. And when the pike tried to eat these small fishes, he hits his nose on the glass plate. And then he tried again, and he tried again, and he tried again. But after a couple of times, it hurt so much, so he gave up. And then the researchers took away the glass plate. And now the fishes were swimming everywhere, even close to him. But he didn't try to catch the fishes, even though he could. And he actually starved to death. And I think that's a very good example, and a very crazy example of how dangerous our unconscious beliefs can be, and how they can stop us. And there's also a real example of this on humans. The voodoo death on Haiti, for example. There they believe, they are pretty big believers in black magic and witchcraft. And if a person receives a message from the enemy that they will die, and they believe in that message, they can actually die just a couple of hours after they receive the message. And that's like, there's no medical explanation to it. It seems like a psychological death. And that's also really crazy. And I can sometimes see similar example of this in school as well. Like, for example, in the classroom where I work, sometimes the door is locked. And when people try to open it, they can't, so I open it for them. I unlock it. And then the second time they come, they don't even try to open the door because they believe it's closed. And like, I sometimes joke, like, we don't have to lock the door anymore because no one tries anymore to open it. And this became very clear one time, a while ago. A girl tried to open the door, it was locked, and then I opened it for her. And then the second time, she and two friends ran into the classroom. But her two friends ran before her and closed the door. And she was like, why did you close the door? And I said, like, it's open. And she was like, what? And I like, it's open, you can open it. And then she tried to open it. And that was just like, became so clear because it was just like half an hour, 1 hour later between these two events or situations. So that became very clear to me. And maybe this is a silly example, but what is more interesting is a part of our brain that is called your reticular activating system, your RAS. And your RAS determines what you focus on. It determines what you give attention to. And for example, if you bought a car or a certain type of outfit, after you bought your car or your outfit, you can see those things everywhere. But before you didn't notice it. I don't have a car, but I remember when my mom bought a car, like after she bought that car, I can see that car everywhere now. And it's like, have everybody suddenly bought the same cars or no, it's been there all along, but I didn't notice it before. And that's why it's really good to activate your RAS and to be aware of these kinds of things, because that can speed up your learning. Because now you can, when your RAS is focused on this, it will pick up things that you wouldn't pick up before. So when your RAS is activated, you will notice things that you didn't before, and that will speed up your learning. And that's why I said, like I said in the first video, that awareness is 90% of the solution. Because if you're not aware, you cannot change. But when you are aware, you will learn a lot more than you wouldn't do before you were aware of it. So that's why awareness is the key. And yeah, that's everything I had to share for today. It's been a pleasure. I thank you very much. And I see you in the next video.